Good evening. So, we'll give it a couple more minutes. Carol, hi. Marta, hi. Trev, hello. Mandy, hello. Robert, good to have you here. So, what are we going to talk about today? What has been happening in the world today? 5 p.m. Good. So, the clock is right. So, big news, of course, the elephant in the room is I don't know if I can say it, but the attempt on Donald Trump, exactly. President Trump's life yesterday. And it's got me pretty rattled. So, yeah, wild. So, of course, we've been stuck to the news and just trying to get as much information as we can. I thank God that he's okay. Literally 1 inch away from having a completely different conversation. Hi, Elsie. How are you doing? Ken, thanks for coming. But we can get into that in a bit. Also, I saw that Princess Catherine was at Wimbledon today, so it was really good to see her. Of course, it's that something like that would have probably led off the news here. But with what's going on, Daniel, it's good. Thank you for coming. With what's going on, of course, that's put on the back burner, but I'm really happy to see her show up at Wimbledon. That was really good. And congratulations to Carlos Alcaraz, I believe. I'm not a big tennis guy, but if there is one tournament that I will watch, at least the final of, it would be Wimbledon. That would be, it seems like a real fun event to go to. Matthew, thank you for coming. Yeah, so, and then of course the big football soccer match later today. So, a lot going on. Also, my wife is still asleep and she's going to wake up and just be heartbroken because one of her favorite actresses from one of her favorite shows growing up passed away last night as well. So, that's hasn't been a good 24 hours. So, yeah, just wild to actually witness yesterday. I was watching the rally and seeing it. We're getting ready to go to my wife's high school reunion party was last night, and we were getting ready to go and with it on in the background, and with everything that happened. It was just, hi, Darren. Thanks for coming. Um, just shocking. Um, it's a very dark. I hate to say that it's a dark day for us, but yeah, it is. It's I haven't seen the likes of something like this since Reagan back in 80. What was it? 83, 1983. So a complete fail by the Secret Service. How they allowed this person to get so close and not be able to protect the president is just beyond me. But there'll be months and months of investigating. So, T Mac, thanks for coming. Um, it's just wild. So, I don't even know how to process what's going on. Of course, there'll be a lot of finger pointing and a lot of talk of the rhetoric that's coming out. Um, it just takes one kind of crazy person. They've identified the guy as he's only 20 years old. I mean, it's just sad to think that's where you feel that's where your uh, life needed to go, was to do something like this. So just really, it's, this whole live stream is going to be kind of weird for me because we're still kind of just the whole night have just been kind of in shock of the whole deal. So forgive me if I'm sounding a little distant as I still have the news going on, because literally there's breaking news every minute. So apparently this kid, um, I don't know. They're going to go into details. I don't want to mention his name or anything like that. But yeah, wild. So how are we all doing? Are we excited for the game? Um, I imagine a lot of you are excited for today's game. So it's I don't know, is Spain really good? I don't know, but we're gonna find out. So that game's on in about 3 hours, I guess. So so I assume if you're with me today, you're not in a pub or have started in a pub. Maybe you'll go to a pub after this. I hope you all enjoy um, stuff like this. I don't, as you know, football, soccer is not that popular in or as popular in my neck of the woods. So I know there's a few places I'm sure that are having the match, and there'll be some expats, some British, some English people who will be there and rooting on their team for sure. But yeah, wild. Secret Service not up to standard. Yeah, absolutely. There's going to be a lot of questions. Yes, absolutely. They had a new head of the Secret Service, and she has made some questionable comments in the, you know, on her hiring practices. I think there was a request by the Trump campaign for more protection, but it was denied or something like that. So we're gonna get a lot of information coming out of just, but there were thousands and thousands of people there. I It's easy to sit and blame the Secret Service. It's easy to sit here and do that. I have nothing but the most respect for what the men and women do who are in the Secret Service and the other branches that do this sort of thing. And it's not easy. And there's always, at some point, you know, something will be missed or something like that. But yeah, it's going to be. Hey, Brian, thanks for coming. Um, but you're right. T Mac, yep, life goes on. Um, but yeah, it's just amazing 1 inch, um, and we'd be having a completely different conversation this morning. Honestly, if he had been killed, I probably wouldn't be doing this. Um, we're as a country, we're so divided. Hi, Linda. Thank you, Matthew. Thank you for coming. Yeah, there's always going to be nut jobs out there, and there's always going to be a way to expose any sort of, you know, there's just, every time you hear about something like this, it always comes out like, oh, well, this person knew they were there and they just didn't do anything, or they didn't react the way they should have, or responded, or notified somebody, or there were people who saw this person on the rooftop and were trying to notify the authorities. Um, Granted, these people um, were just on the outside of the perimeter drinking and listening. They couldn't see the event, but they were listening. So I imagine you had a bunch of drunk people from the woods yelling at you. You probably are like, what are they yelling at? But a lot of things. Hey, JJ, thanks for coming. Tony, thank you for being here. No one is in the house. Thank you. Uh, you need a good. Yep. Yep. Uh, just wild. So, uh, Tony's going to be watching the English women versus Sweden is on Tuesday for their Euros. So they have Euros as well. So good. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. That's great. Yeah, the women's game has become very popular. You know what I love about the women's game? And again, I don't watch a terrible amount of soccer, football. But the one thing I do appreciate about the women's game is there's no flopping, no diving, I think is what you would call it. And I'm sure that there are a few. There's that one from Brazil who does it a lot, but some nations are a little more uh, predisposed to do it, you know. But yeah, that's the one thing I enjoy about the women's game. But again, I don't watch a terrible amount of it. Yeah, I was just talking about that. No one, the cops were told. The only thing I could think of is just they couldn't see him because of the way the roof was slanted. The guy was on this side and they were over here, and being told there's a guy on the roof, they probably couldn't see him. And, and then, I mean, it all happened so fast. But yeah, wild, absolutely wild. So how was the Wimbledon match? I didn't get up for it. It comes on pretty early here. Um, we had a late night last night, so I actually slept in till 7 this morning, and of course, I'm not going to watch tennis. I'm going to watch the news on what happened yesterday. So yeah, wild. Um, Malcolm, thank you, and Tanya, thank you. Yeah, so to kind of go back and answer some questions about Cooper's trip, that's a good idea. If I scroll up here, is there anything, Marja asked, is there anything Cooper didn't like? Now I'm going to have an interview with him later on. I don't know if it'll be today based on what's happening. We got some family functions going on as well. But this week I'm going to talk to him. So I don't want to spoil any of his answers, but I do know that he wasn't happy with all the travel, and that's not um, anyone's fault or any place's fault, if I can say it like that. It's just I think the travel, the itinerary, just had them trying to hit these places. So there was like when he came into Ireland, they from Ireland, then had to go across the Irish Sea, take the ferry, which wasn't a big deal. The ferry, it was kind of a unique experience for him. He's been on cruise ships, so they're similar. Um, and then, but he's just, the downtime, the boredom of just sitting and traveling on a bus from there up to Conweed Castle, just takes a long time. And then from there to Scotland took for a long time. And then the train down to London took a long time. I know when he got to Scotland, things really, he loved, I'll let him explain, but he loved Conwy Castle. He loved that. Um, and of course, Scotland, he really enjoyed. And London, he absolutely loved. So I know he enjoyed. So who knows? If you were to do it again, would you even fly um, to Ireland? They got to see some neat things there, but you know, as the trip of whole, I think the second half of the trip was the better part of the trip. But I'll let him explain all that in my interview with him. Yeah, Princess Catherine looked great. Just haven't seen any video. I just seen photos of her, and I mentioned it earlier. It was wonderful to see her. Also, I want to get a shout out to the toughest woman on the planet, Princess Anne. She is um, was out and about, recovering from her head injuries. Just remarkable. And from what I hear, she can't really remember what happened, which is wild to think. So let's see here. I would have thought that roof would have been covered. Yeah, I I, I do too. You'd think it was only about 150 yards to 200 yards away. And that, I think, goes down to where they didn't have enough personnel there. They had a lot of snipers. Of course, as soon as the shots were fired, the guy was taken down by counter snipers. And yeah, but you think they would have like a drone in the air to be able to hover over the area? I guarantee they will from now on, though. That's for sure. So very, very um, confusing. Yeah. Let's see here. SAS on the rooftops in Parliament Square. it, I know there's some who say, you don't want the public to see them because it causes uneasiness or whatever. But I think an event like this make it more known. I guess I don't know. I mean, he's 20 years old. He's a kid, and he obviously has some mental issues. Obviously, so. Uh, I'm going to wait for more information to come out, which is constantly just being replayed and more stuff coming out. Don't try to cram. Yes, Elsie. That's uh, when I eventually get there. Um, I'm not going to try to go to all these places. It, it, I want to be able to, and of course, first time there, got to go to London. So I just want my time to be in London. Now, my wife is also talking about she wants to go to Italy. So we may have to somehow combine them, take like 3 weeks and do both. So I don't know. We're just spitballing ideas at each other. And they just keep getting more grander as every time we talk about them. So, yeah. Wonder Woman. That's so true. She is, well, yeah. Princess Anne is remarkable. She really is. So I'm glad to see her back. Hopefully she's good. Yeah, that's knowing that's what I was talking about, the rhetoric. That is, I mean, you call the guy um, all this stuff saying he's an existential threat, and you're going to find someone who takes that seriously. And You're gonna see what happened yesterday. Jan, thanks for coming. You do not need to apologize for being late. Yeah, gotta get your Wimbledon in. I get it. I get it. I didn't, when I was scheduling this, I didn't even think about Wimbledon. Not at all. So I'm glad it was at straight sets. I saw he was down to, or he being Djokovic was down 2-0. So I don't know if he got swept or not, but I do have a crush on her. It's obviously pretty noticeable. That's funny. Yeah, Princess Anne knows that I do. We talk. We talk all the time. That would be. I wouldn't know if Princess Anne were here in front of me right now. I would literally not know what to say. Hi, I think is all I'd probably get out. But yeah, she's pretty cool. Let's see here. Hi, Ian. Thank you for coming. Yeah, yeah, Biden. Yeah, I mean, he's. It's going to be interesting. Like I said, it's just 1 inch, and we are having a completely different conversation. So, thank God it didn't. It's weird in that video, and you just dissect. There's a photo by somebody where you see the actual, you know, bullet going by his head. I don't know if you've seen it. It's an amazing shot. Um, just unreal. Let's see. Let's see here. Did Cooper get to Whippy? No. Whippy would be fun. And Cooper, I mean, that's if he'd gone to Whitby, that's where there's just no time. There's no time for him to get to these little villages and stuff like that. It's just had to hit all the main things. It was kind of a whirlwind. I mean, he was only there for 11 days, and most of that time was spent traveling. So, yeah, but he had a great time. I mean, he had a great time. He was ready to come home, though. I mean, he's 15, so he wanted to sleep in his bed because he had to share rooms with other kids. And so he wanted to come home, sleep in his own bed. And yeah, but he had a good time, but he was ready. That was the longest he's ever been away from all of us in one trip. So yeah, he was ready. Yes, alive because he turned his head. That video, if you watch it, he's like this, he's like this, he's like this, and as soon as he turns his head, that's when it's just amazing. That just crazy how someone was looking after him, and I cannot say how sorry I am that the one of the crowd, one in the crowd was killed. So I'm just really saddened by that. Yeah, I'm just shocked that still in a haze about that. So it was straight sets, 6-2, 6-2, 7-6. So the third was a nail biter there. What happened with? I'd heard. I think that's actually Cooper texting me right now. Yeah. What happened with Djokovic? He was getting a lot of booze, so I'm not sure. What did he say? You have to let me in on what all the hubbub was on what was going on there. Were they kind to Cooper? Yeah, I heard nothing negative about the people um, that he met. Now, granted, they were pretty in groups, so their interactions just on normal day uh, locals probably wasn't the greatest, but he did have some. I'd mentioned earlier in a video that he snuck down in his hotel when he was in Ireland to watch the Euros. He got to sit in their hotel. I don't want to call it a pub, but a bar or whatever, and watch some of the game. And he really enjoyed the atmosphere in the moment. But I didn't hear anything negative. And he now here's the thing: Cooper loves the accent, and and he has a hard time after he'll listen to the accent, and then all of a sudden he'll like try to emulate it. And so hopefully, my fear was that he'd come home with the accent and not know how to turn it off. But he's pretty good at it. But I didn't want him to offend anybody by, just blaring it out. But all in all, I think, yeah, there was no issues with any of the locals. I think he was treated well. It felt like he said he felt very, very safe. Um, the weather it could have been less hot. I guess it was pretty warm, he said. But one day, the day they were in Scotland, walking around, is when the rain, yeah, it rained pretty good on them. But other than that, that was the only time the weather, other than the heat, was an issue. Yes, loves his bed. He was just outplayed. The world is a scary place now. Yeah, yeah. It can be. The world can be a scary place for sure. Uh, I don't know if I'd call Cooper a proper British gentleman, but boy, I don't think he would argue if that was the deal for sure. He loved the accents, so yeah. I know you don't think they're accents, but he loves them. And like I remember when he Cooper plays soccer. Of course, we all know this. And I remember when he was in a camp, a soccer camp. It was run by a couple gentlemen from England, and he absolutely loved just listening to them speak. And I think, you know, he was just hooked. So funny. Yeah, he didn't get to Liverpool. He so they went from, and of course you can explain it better than I could because I don't know what, but it seemed like from Conway Castle there in Wales, they took uh, a bus up to Edinburgh. So I tried to say, hey, you got to look out the window. You're going to be passing. Gosh dang it, I'm forgetting. Um, what's the town? I can't remember. It's where Hadrian's Wall starts, right, or something like that. On his way up. You'll have to let me know, but I can't remember. But I was trying to follow along. We have an app on his phone to where we can GPS, follow him. And Newcastle, thank you. Um, and so I'm like trying to follow him as they're traveling, going, look out your window. Not, of course, there's probably a delay and stuff like that. Because I think when I said, if you look, when you get to this point, you can look out your window, maybe you get to see something. And he's like, um, uh, I'm already in Scotland, is when he replies. I'm like, oh, so you're pretty far ahead. Okay. I think some of you are going to go to a commercial break. Hold on. Some of you probably don't. So it's weird how the commercials, some people get commercials, some people don't. Not sure. Carlisle. I think it was Carlisle. I don't know. I don't remember. I apologize. I don't remember. Yeah, so he was going north on whatever the main highway is towards from Conway Castle. So however that takes you. And he was on looked like he was near the coast, the west coast. So I don't know. I don't know. See if anybody else new is in. I'm surprised with the big game. I'm surprised this many people showed up. I'm sorry I couldn't move it to a better time, but it's just I really kind of this was kind of the only window I had to do it, and we hadn't had a live stream in a while. So, did he see the Mary Rose? No. I would have loved for him to have gone to Portsmouth. Like I said, once they got to London, they had 2.5 days in London before they had to fly home. And it's you're just not going to see everything. I don't even think they didn't even get to go to the Tower of London, which I was surprised, and I wanted him to, but it's just you know it's just how it was. He did get to see a lot of cool things though. He did go on the Eye, the London Eye. He did get to go on it. He said it was awesome. He said the view is incredible. I can imagine. Yeah, I imagine the London Eye is probably. It's not really something I would want to do. Maybe I don't know, but I imagine the views from up there are pretty incredible. But I believe we watched a video of Tom the taxi driver one time, and he was talking about you can go to these other buildings and go up on their rooftop, and they have you have these views that are just as good, and it's free, right? So let's see. So yeah, he didn't see the Mary Rose. Now that is definitely something. When I go, I will definitely be heading over to Portsmouth for sure. Thank you, Matthew. Appreciate it. Will you be watching the Euros? And my prediction. Well, I'm predicting England wins. That is what I'm hoping, and my prediction is they win 2-1. I'll say 2-1, and based on how it's been going through the Euros, they're going to win on a last extra time goal. I couldn't imagine all of you who are huge fans trying to, with your nerves, make it through this year's Euro. It seems like every game, and I'm talking specifically of England, it seems like every one of their games has just gone down to the wire. I mean, they have been winning in every way possible, and it's been just like, oh my gosh, they fall behind early, come back to win it, shootouts, just the whole bit. Just it's got to be just nerve wracking. And we'll be watching right over here on my couch. That's where we'll be watching. I know my son is super, super excited after this live stream. I'm going to go pick him up. He was hanging out at his buddy's house last night. So I'm going to go pick up, and he'll want to do his prep work before the game, getting the couch spot and comfortable. And he's excited. He really is excited to watch the game for sure. The Spanish guy. Yeah, well, the Spanish guy did win Wimbledon, but he didn't beat an Englishman. So that doesn't apply. I really believe England's going to win this time, and let's hope they win 4-0 because then you can all just relax, enjoy, and just be excited. Um, no more. I mean, I want to see you know, an exciting game, but if I were a fan, I'd rather it be 4-0 for sure. Let's see here. Now, pulling for England. Absolutely pulling for England. I always have, because why would I pull for any other country other than my cousins? Keep it in the family for sure. Carlisle on the West Coast. So Newcastle. That's right. Newcastle's on the East Coast. So it was Carlisle that I was telling them, when you get to Carlisle, look out your window. I don't know if you can even see it. Obviously, I don't know. But I was saying, look out your window when you get to Carlisle. Maybe you'll get to see Hadrian's Wall, like typical tourist who's never been there before. And that's when he texts back and says, I'm already in Scotland. I'm like, dang, this GPS is way behind you. Carlisle. That's it. Let's see here. England 2, Spain 2. Oh boy. My shoulder, it has healed to the best I think it's going to get right at the moment. Is it 100%? No. No. And a lot of you told me when you hurt your shoulders, it never healed just back. I mean, I did exercises, I did all that stuff. And, but I still feel, and I use it all the time, every time, not a problem. But you do feel it's like um, a tightness that you just know it's not the same when I lift my right arm as it is when I lift my left arm. There's just a different feel there, and almost like has a feeling like if I were to do what I did again, I could injure it again. So I'm a little more cautious, I guess. But plus, getting older, the whole how I got hurt to begin with just baffles my mind. An Englishman won the men's doubles with a Finnish guy. So there you go. And so uh, doubles tennis. Uh, that's something I never really could get into. It's just too much going on. Yeah, do not. Darren, thank you for coming. I don't know if I mentioned you yet. And you're from Scotland. Yeah, Cooper enjoyed Scotland. Like you said, it rained on him. That was the only time it rained, when they were in Edinburgh. And I was really excited for him to go to Edinburgh because I love the castle. I've seen the tattoos, videos, and I've seen um, the Royal Mile and the transferring, when they bring the jewels and the crown down, and seeing the oh gosh, the bagpipes. Um, Black Watch, is that it? Gosh, I hope I'm right. Um, Awesome stuff. And so I just was like, and I follow a guy who we've done some videos, Clan Broomford. He's Scottish, and so he shows a lot of cool videos about Scotland. And I just think it's cool. The city of Edinburgh looks amazing, and so I was really excited for him to get to Edinburgh, and so we'll hopefully find out what he thought of Edinburgh. Um, I know one thing Cooper did say, and I don't think he'll talk about this. Maybe he will, but if he does, he can just repeat it. Um, is the water tasted different than what he's used to? Obviously, that's the case pretty much everywhere you go. But he wasn't used to it. The bottled water tasted differently, and I'm sure there's some reason for that. But I imagine it's because that water is better for you than the water we drink. That's kind of the impression I get on a lot of things. But he did notice that the water did taste different, and he didn't like the taste. So I don't know what that's all about. Uh, so did Princess Kate give out the trophy? Is that why she goes? Is it so? It's like tradition that she goes to the final to do the ceremony. So that's cool. Very cool. Um, let's see here. I'm kind of falling behind here. Catch up. We're in backtrap here. Um, da, 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 da. I love the fact that you guys can all have your own conversations too. I love watching and reading you guys talk to each other. That way I don't have to, I can be kind of just in on your guys' little conversation. It's cool. I love it. Um, oh, Trev, you got a bad shoulder as well that won't heal. Yeah. By any means, I did not tear my rotator or anything like that. I just strained it. So it hurt. Gosh dang, it hurt. Did Cooper find the crowds in London difficult? Not that I'm aware of. I know they were given some free time, like the chaperone, the teacher who went with them, who I know personally. I actually went to the. She was in my graduating high school class, so we were friends in high school, and she's now a teacher at that school, and so she ended up being the chaperone. So that worked out really well. She's a wonderful person. She let Cooper and his friend, who um, that Cooper plays soccer with, he's also on the soccer team. He went on this trip as well, so he had like a buddy to hang out with. Let them. They rented those scooters, and they just went around on their own without anybody. So that was really cool that he got to do that. And as far as I know, he didn't have anything negative about crowds. Cooper's not a big. He does that doesn't bother him, crowds. So he never mentioned anything like that. So um, yeah, he said that was really fun when he got to just kind of go and see it on his own. Um, we've talked about this. It's like, the first part of the trip, I kept peppering him with things he needs to see, look out for, and then I finally just had to kind of step back and just say, you know what, it's your trip, kid. I can't keep trying to tell you what to do. Go experience it the way you're going to experience it. And I think that was the best move, not only for him, but for me too, because then I can just, you know, let it happen and just enjoy the fact that he's over there doing it. I'm just so happy that he was able to do it. I was excited for him to be able to go. So pretty cool. And I think, he got to see what he got to see. And he did send some photos. Hopefully, maybe when we do the live stream, I can throw up his pictures that he took. I don't. He says he has a lot of pictures on his phone, so we'll have to download them off his phone and see. He didn't send me a lot, but yeah. Hopefully, you know he was trying to capture a lot of it on film. Hopefully, or not film on his phone. Uh, let's see here. I'm not sure if you're asking me if I had surgery. Oh no, someone else is asking you to have surgery. Oh, you're asking Trev. Um, I did not. Nice. Okay. Did Cooper look around Edinburgh Castle? Like, did they go through the castle? I believe so. I'm gonna hopefully find out more when I talk to him more in depth. I've been kind of holding off asking questions so I can, uh, experience what he was experiencing for the first time with all of you. So um, hopefully they did, but I believe they did. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if they did. They were only in Edinburgh for a day and a half. They got there mid afternoon. they had the whole next day, and then they left the following day. Um, so they got to see a lot, but I don't know if they actually went into the castle itself, which I hope they did, but I'm not sure. Black Watch, thank you. Good. For a minute there, I was like, ugh, yeah. The videos of watching them come down the Royal Mile, it's just incredible. Let's see here. Did he hear the 1 p.m. cannon go off from the castle? And that's a good question to ask. I don't know. I'm sure if they were up there, at that time, and yeah, every day. So hopefully he did. That'd be kind of cool question to ask for sure. Are there any COVID cases here? Phew, it's a good question. I'm sure there are. I've heard people, say they got COVID again. Um, at this point, you know, what are we going to do? They're not going to institute the masks anymore. Just if you have COVID, stay home. What I mean, so yeah, it's not talked about at all anymore. Thank God, because um, that was crazy. Don't have to go through that again for sure. Let's see here. You're not rude, Matthew. I don't know why you would think you're being rude. No way, not at all. This is not my channel. I will defend that. It's our channel. This whole thing is not possible without all of you. So it'd be silly to say it's my channel. I only do this so I can hang out with all of you. Really, this is not my job. This is not my, you know, the, my career. I don't make. I mean, I do make a little bit of money on this, and I will be transparent about that, of course. But that usually then covers my cost for. I pay for YouTube Premium, so I don't get ads in the videos. Then I have to. I pay for a couple of other things with that money, and then what's left over, like a VPN. I pay for the VPN with that money, and then what's left over is going into a London fund. So it's there's not a whole lot of money left over monthly. Um, it's not even to a point where I don't even know if I reported on my taxes, but they do take taxes out all the time. But yeah, this is our channel, and I am grateful for all of you. Truly blessed. That is leading me into something. I have an idea. Hear me out, and maybe none of you would be into this, but let me present this to you. I would like to uh, interview some of you on camera. If any of you would be willing to have just a short interview, doesn't have to be some of the long interviews that we've done already, but just something maybe along the lines of you presenting where you live and what's wonderful about where you live, and maybe some history about it, or we can do it. Can go really any way. Uh, so I kind of have this idea. I would love to meet you all individually on camera and interview you. I don't know. You let me know what that sounds, and if anybody is willing, feel free to email me that you'd be willing to do it. I would love to find out where you live. You don't even have to talk about where you live if you don't want people knowing where you live. That's totally cool. We could talk about maybe the town you grew up from, or a favorite place you go. It could be anything. I think it'd be just kind of cool to get to know a lot of you, and if we can talk about the places that you're from. There would be some interests from some others as well. I don't know. Just throwing it out there. If anybody be interested, let me know. Tap water tastes different. Yes, as it does here. I don't think he had. Yeah, I think he gets. He asked for water in restaurants, and they would bring it to him, and he didn't like that. Uh, let's see here. I'm an online curtain twitcher. I don't even know what that means. What's an online curtain twitcher? I'm curious. It was dead. He had bottled as well. Um, let's see here. Whoa, I dropped way below here. Let's see. He's president of the Lawn Tennis Association. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'm happy that Linda. I'm happy that they got to go off and kind of explore. I think it was for like an hour and a half or something. So, if any of you saw two kids just rolling around on scooters at that time, hopefully they weren't up to no good. But he said it was probably one of the funner things that they did. So it was cool. Did he get to horse guards? I don't know. I don't know if he did. They may have walked by it. Um, like I said, if I was still telling him what he should go see, I would have said, go over that way, go down the mall, go see the cenotaph. I mean, all that stuff. I don't, if I had to take a guess, I would imagine they probably didn't. Um, they did, I think they did Windsor, they did Buckingham, they did the Abbey, they did, of course, the Eye, they went by Parliament. Um, a lot of places, they were in Trafalgar Square briefly. That they when they came in from London, they got let out on a cross, Charing Cross station. So right there, so they were able to kind of walk around and see some cool things. Just right in that little area, and then I think they were their hotel was on the outskirts of London, wasn't in London. It was so they had to kind of take a train in, but yeah, all stuff that I hope to find out more about. When he first got back, he was so tired, so we couldn't get a lot of information out of him. But uh, he over the week, it's been about 2 weeks now, I guess, since he got back 2 weeks ago from yesterday. Um, he's gradually have told us more and more and more, but he's 15 and trying to get information out of him has been, as you can imagine, difficult. So, did Cooper go to horse cars? If so, I'll look for him on the bus kind of part. Yeah, I don't think he did, but I don't know if you know, but he did when he was at Buckingham Palace. Prince William showed up, and they were just on the outside, and his motorcade drove by. And to answer anybody's question, no, he did not know who that was. Someone, the tour guide, who was a London local, um, that was guiding him, pointed that out, said that is who that was. And I think from a distance they could see him. He pulls into the palace. And I don't know if they actually saw him per se, but we can ask them in the interview that we do with them. If I go to Edinburgh, go to the Whiskey Museum at the foot of the castle, I'm game. I'm not a whiskey drinker at all. In fact, I had some last night, and I'm still regretting that decision. But um, he lost my train of thought. Yeah, the whiskey um, museum. I would still go because I just love that sort of thing. It's pretty cool. Um, yeah, I'm gonna wrap this up probably in about 10 minutes. So you're certainly free to leave when you need to leave. Um, like I said, I'm gonna have to go as well, but you're free to go whenever. I know the big game's coming, so a lot of you will have to do your thing. Did Cooper bring anything back? Yes. We'll get into it a little bit more again when we talk to him, but he brought me back a shot glass, which is what I asked for because we have a shot glass collection. Brought back his mom a coffee mug, nice and easy. Brought something for his brother. He got himself a few things, so I should have pulled them out to show you, but they're, yeah, the usual the usual gifts, souvenir type things. But yeah, it's pretty cool. And what was cool is he asked. He asked if we wanted something. So I always thought that was uh, pretty cool. Let's see here. It is our channel. It goes both ways, Carol. It goes both ways. Uh, I'm here because of you, and you're here because of me. That's what makes us great. Camera shy. That's okay. You don't have to do it. I just was throwing it out there if anybody would be willing to talk with me on camera. That's okay. It took me a while to get on camera myself, but I'm a ham uh, uh, at heart. So I sing in person. I do karaoke. I do all that stuff. So once you get used to the camera, and I'm still not really used to it, but you get comfortable doing it. Um, okay, Matthew, sounds like a plan, man. Let's set it up. Um, Current Twitcher is when you watch people from your house. Okay, yeah, kind of. Yeah, I guess that is true. uh, um, let's see here. So yeah, how many of you have already started drinking? That's funny. He he did not bring an English girlfriend. No, um, that's funny, Ian. He did meet a girl. I probably shouldn't be saying this, but he did meet a girl. Apparently, she's from Florida, though. I don't. I think they still talk on social media, but that's funny. Okay, gotcha. Thank you, Linda. I'm totally just creeping in on your guys' conversations, but I love it. This is I enjoy. I didn't think live streams are tough because you're not getting any audible response. So I'm just talking into a camera and you know just saying what's what. And that I have to say is probably the hardest thing is doing a live stream because I'm trying to read, trying to get my thought out as I'm talking. You obviously don't want just dead air space, where no one's where I'm not talking. So it can be, I would have to say this is probably the toughest of what I do. The videos are great. Just to let you know, some of you will be going to an ad here in a bit. Like I said, I'm probably going to want to end this live stream here in about let's say about 5:05 your time, I'm guessing. Um, Linda, thank you. Crack the lens on your monitor. I doubt that. I doubt that. Nice. Thank you, Daniel. Uh, for anyone who's interested, please email me because I'm going to forget. I'm not writing this down, but I think it would be pretty cool. And we could really talk about anything you'd like, but I was hoping to maybe just learn about where you live. So cool. And yeah, it could only, we could, these interviews could be like 10 minutes, 15 minutes. They don't have to be very long at all. Thank you, Jan. Appreciate you. I appreciate all of you. I really do. You guys are incredible. Um, you've actually just doing this has helped me. Um, just with what's going on in my country right now is this has really kind of broke it up a little bit and made me smile. I haven't really done a lot of smiling in the last 24 hours. So this has been a nice break from the constant, right? So uh, just thank you. Thank you to all of you. You guys have really helped, helped a lot. Thank you. Thank you. You guys are wonderful. Um, so big game tonight. I am hoping and wishing nothing but the best for England and all of you. I hope to hear tomorrow. Well, I'll open tomorrow's video with hopefully good news, right? Thank you, Carol. You guys are, yeah. I don't want to get all emotional here. You guys are just good people. Yeah, no one. This pretty much. I'd be surprised if what happened yesterday didn't basically end the election altogether. I think he's going to win. All right, thank you, Elsie. Um, hope everybody's happy, healthy, and safe. We're going to go ahead and end that today. Enjoy the game. You guys are wonderful. I love all of you. Thank you. Email me if you are interested in having a video chat. It's very easy to do. I can just send you a link. Um, you will need, of course, a camera. And so if you're interested, yeah, send me an email and we could try to work something out and see how that goes. But in the meantime, go. What's the chant? Go Lions, go England. What do you say? Um, go. I'm just going to say go England. Hopefully they win. And I will talk to you guys soon. Okay. Take care, everybody. Thanks for coming.